Good evening, guys. So, I'm hosting the event today, and we'll be starting the event at sharp 7 p.m. So, I request you all to stay till 7 p.m. Okay, hi. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so good greetings of the day. I welcome you all to our 3-day forensic learning series of Crime Chronicles. And for the next 3 days, we have exciting sessions from the field of psychology, cyber forensic, and intricacies of forensic science. So, this series has been brought to you by Cybercrime, a special organization specializing in cyber journalism, forensic investigation, and legal consultancy. We cover crime news, case studies, forensic events, forensic internships, and much more. So, the entire Y Crime team welcomes you to this 3-day event of Crime Chronicles of Forensic Learning series, where we will explore the different fields of knowledge in 3 different days. And we truly appreciate your courage to learn, and this is why you all are here. So, without delaying much, we are going to start the session. And our today's topic is on incident to indictment, which is legal and technical pathways in cybercrime responses, which will be taken by Rahul and Anand sir. And also, everyone, you are please requested to keep your cameras on throughout the session, and you may unmute yourself if you have any queries during the session. Additionally, there will be a dedicated Q&A session in the last 15 minutes, so please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box as well.
Perfect. Thanks, Adisri. Welcome everyone. As Adisri mentioned, we are from the forensic background, and we always believe in seeing what we see in front of us. So appreciate if everyone can come on the camera, so that it can be a very interactive session. Uh, First thing first, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Rahul Anand. Presently, I'm working with as a Chief Information Security Officer with Trilegal. It's a legal firm. My main job is to mostly towards the information security side as well as the digital forensic. I have overall, 18 years of experience, mostly into the IT side and digital forensic. Prior to Trilegal, I worked with premier organizations or Big Four. You can tell it as like Ernst and Young, EY. Then I worked with BDO as a digital forensic consultant, and I have worked on a lot of cases in and around globe. Uh, just one disclaimer that I wanted to highlight over here is that I will go through this lot of case studies over here, but which are very much published in the internet, or which where you can find it in the research. But I will request everyone, please don't ask any questions which are not available, any questions related to any of the cases which are not available in public domain, because digital forensic is such a area where once we start getting involved, the curiosity increased, and what we face that people will start asking us questions. Okay, Rahul, have you worked on this particular case? Rahul, have you worked on this particular case? And sometimes as a human being we also make some mistake and we say yes, we have worked in this particular case, and suddenly lots of questions will come. So my point is very clear. Let's avoid any query, any questions related to a litigation matter which is not available in the public domain. Because I know I am part of I was a part of an organization which was very much involved in one of the corruption cases. And when they know that I am part of that particular firm, and they know that I am a part of a digital forensic, the first thing that comes to me, sir or Rahul, have you worked on this particular project or particular case? Trust me, I have worked, but I'm not, I'm by the legal or regular affairs that I can't disclose those questions. So that's my disclaimer. But yeah, we can start from here onwards. So who's presenting the slide?
Sir, I'll be presenting the slides.
Perfect. So I will just let you know. We can start from the very first day, and as Adishri has mentioned to everyone that we will have a quick Q&A. But still, if you somewhere you feel that things are not, you're not able to understand, feel free to put it in the chat box, because I do understand. It's a 1 hour session, but there are chances that we may spill over in 1 hour's time. So if it would be good if you can just put your questions in the chat bot. Whenever I get a time, definitely I will make sure that I will respond to those questions with the help of Shakil and Saurabh over here, or through the White Crime portal. So Adit, if you can, Adishri, if you can just please,
Sure, sir.
Fine. So I will tell you one thing very, very interesting. As I mentioned, I was part of IT services. I was a developer, but now I'm into digital forensic. So why I volunteered when Saurabh and Sakil reached out to me that Rahul, you have to do some some session out of this. I will tell you, almost 10-12 years back, I was sort of knows me personally. I was going through a saturation point in my career, right? And but yeah, I would say I had a habit of reading books and all those stuff, and that's where, I went through one of the self-help book where it was mostly towards the legal side that I was looking for, and there I saw the word incident to indictment, and trust me, that word catches me. What does this mean? Right, and that's where it created a spark in me. Okay, what is this? Because you can see the flow of the word incident to indictment. So that's where I realized, okay, I am from an IT side. Is there something for me where I can learn from a legal perspective? And trust me, 12 years back, there was no concept of forensic, at least in India. I know when I was a kid, we used to see a lot of, NYPD series in Star, I am calling Star Plus and all the stuff. So that always created a lot of interest, and this particular word really helped me out to get into the stuff. Anusri, I think Adishri, if you haven't shared the deck yet, if I'm not wrong.
Sure, sir.
So from there onwards, it really hit me hard, and from there onwards, I started doing my own, research, and then I realized, okay, fine, there is something called, a forensic, and there is an integration of forensic into the IT side. I did my further research, and I can assure you, what I am going through, it will be in a very storytelling mode. And what you can just click on the Adishri, if you see, yeah, can you just make it to the zoom, the fourth one from the down at the right side, down right
Sorry,
side.
sir.
Yeah, make it, no, not the slide, the fourth. uh, uh, you can see there's how to say this, you can make it full screen or click F9, something like that. It's not happening, but nevertheless, let's go to the first slide only. So what we will do, we'll go through we'll go in a very storytelling mode, and I want you all to think like a detective, right? Because this is a journey. This 1 hour will be a journey where we'll go through the case studies, where you can understand what all process needs to be followed when we are doing any sort of digital forensic. And because at the end of the day, whatever we collect as an individual or a subject matter expert, that will be presented in the court of law, and or law of court, whatever you call it, because I'm a not a liar, you guys are the lawyers, so you could know it better than me. So this is how it will go, the flow will be in this manner. I can tell you one thing over here is that the cyber in present world, I can tell you, in present world, cyber crime is one of the biggest factor. You have seen lot of war is happening across the globe, and trust me, in the next 15-20 years, the war will be not will be done with bombs or bofors or any harmful materials, but yeah, it will be mostly through cyber, right? I'm pretty sure you guys might have heard about when Ukraine and Russia war started. The first thing that before the war, the first thing that happened was that Ukraine, Bank of Ukraine was hacked, and it was done by one of the hacktivists of Russia that they have done. So you can understand that the digital forensic importance is very critical, predominantly in the next 10 to 15 years. Now, if you talk about what are the importance of Adishri, if you can just go to the first slide only. What is the importance of digital forensic? The very first one, yeah, the digital forensic in modern cybersecurity. I would say it helps us to investigate and detect the attack, because once we understand the source, right, understand one thing, once we understand the source, we will be able to understand how the breaches has happened, what systems are affected, and what sort of data is stolen. So this is where the digital forensic will come into play. Second is definitely that is very critical to preserve the evidence for justice. If I say justice, you can understand you have to present the evidence in the court of law, because proper evidence handling is very critical when you are going to the law, because this will help you to prosecute the cyber criminals. Without digital forensic, evidence may be lost or inadmissible, right? We have a very specific case in India, where the forensic, where the evidences were not collected properly, and still that case is mystery. Can anyone help me to can anyone just tell me which case it was? It was very well known case. Just ping me, I just want to see some buzz over here.
Which case related?
You guys tell me. There was one case in India which happened where people were not, we are still not able to find the culprit, and that was just because of the mishandling of the evidences that was done by the police in India.
तलवार केस सर.
Perfect, you guys are.
Arushi तलवार केस.
Yep, I know. We have seen a lot of movies. I think there are 2 or 3 movies around, so you can understand the impact. My intent was to tell you that, okay, there's one thing that you can see, and that is happening. I think I was doing my engineering during that time, and still we are not able to trace the culprit. So you can understand mismanagement of evidences, how critical it is, right? Having said that, so digital forensic is very critical in terms of managing the event. Third point is definitely data forensic at some point of time always help the cyber defense team in terms of preventing the future attack, because there's a team within data forensics which look after the which do the overall analysis of each and every breach that has happened, and basis which they come up with a new defense mechanism that can help us to save our defense in the future. Lastly, it all since we are talking from a legal standpoint, data forensic always support us in terms of legal and regulatory compliance. Many industries requires proof of incident response and even evidence preservations to comply with laws and standards. I'm not sure whether you guys know about certain. This is one of the I wouldn't say the regulatory, but yeah, it acts as a regulatory body for in within Indian sub space. And they always say that they always, whenever any incident happen, they're the first team that they will reach out to a specific organization where this incident has happened, and they will ask, okay, what was the reason for incidents, what was the how things went all, what was the cause, how you protected, have you containerized it. So these are the legal, I would say, some sort of techno words, but yeah, you have to follow this all those aspects. So these are the major benefits that you can have if you are if benefit of digital forensic within the cyber security. Trust me, I am a CISO. I have worked in different organization. For me, my major factor is that any organization, if they have to do the business within a particular land, right? If I say land, it means any country or something, they have to follow the regulatory requirement plus the all those stuff. So as a CISO, my first job is to understand, to have an incident response process in place and make sure that digital forensic engineer is there just to make sure that we are complying with the laws of the land. So these are the very critical aspect of digital forensic or incident response when we are moving ahead when any of the indictment that will come. Now, as I mentioned, we will be going ahead with the case study, and this case study is I'm not sure whether you guys have gone through in your curriculum or not, but I have picked this case study because this is very common case study, which is very specific to digital forensic part. So, Adisir, if you can just move to the second slide, please. Perfect. So, one thing we have to keep in mind that today's cybercrime is not anything about passwords stealing or hacked emails, because the threat surface has increased. Now the world is totally dependent on internet. The way we are progressing in the digital age, understand at the same time our enemy, if I say enemy, like the hackers and all those, are also making sure that they are up to the relevance of the threat service that we have. So it's about the real world impact that we have to think from a cybersecurity standpoint, and that real world can be from hospital to the pipelines. So if I say pipelines, don't think that the pipelines that comes that you see outside your apartments. No, I'm not talking about that pipelines, but yeah, I'm definitely talking about the pipelines, the oil pipeline, which has a business relevance over here. So the point over here is, how do we move from a vague suspicion to actual justice when we see this type of cyber breach that happen? So let's explore how every digital investigation starts with a spark of suspicion. This is one thing I'm pretty sure if the person who is from the legal background, they understand. We always use this word spark of suspicion. So you, there's a case study which I have taken. This case study is about Colonial Pipeline, and I want everyone to respond to my question just to make it a little bit interactive rather than one-sided conversation. Uh, So let's talk about how this particular crime has started, or crime, or hacking, whatever you call it as. But for this session, I will take it as a crime because this is something we are talking from a legal standpoint. So imagine you are a security analyst. One nice morning, you are sipping a coffee or tea in your cafeteria or in your canteen, and you notice a strange login from a different network, uh, which is not which feels suspicious over there. So what will be your first thought? Will it be a technical glitch, or something big is about to happen? So
Someone,
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, someone was saying something, Priya, or someone was saying something. Or if you want, you can put it on the chat. Again, I'm rephrasing. My question is, you are a security analyst, think in this manner. You are a technical engineer, you know, you're just sitting in front of your laptop, sipping a cup of coffee. Suddenly you see a strange thing happening in your laptop. What will be your uh, first step? What will your first thought process? Is it a technical glitch, or something bigger is going to happen?
someone just logging into the system.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, actually, I think it depends upon what type of process is going on the laptop or computer, and
Yes.
after that we can analyze that yes, something bigger is going on. Yeah,
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, anything
You are
technical.
almost. Yep. Correct.
Yeah, anything technical is going to happen.
Yep. Anyone else? Perfect. So, sorry, I couldn't get your name. It was Jay, right?
Jay.
Yeah. Right. So, Jay, you are bang on target. So, as a security analyst, or as a security analyst, this is the first step. As a security analyst, you will do the proper due diligence, right? That's a word that we should say, that proper due diligence needs to be done, right? When a proper due diligence is done, you can understand whether it's a normal issue or it is impacting the overall organization. So that's where the proper thing is, that you have to have a hook in your mind. Okay, fine. You have to understand that, okay, what is the root cause behind it, and for that you have to do the proper due diligence. So that will be your first thought that will come to your mind. And keep one thing in mind. I have talked as a security analyst. Now, as an investigator or as a detective, as I say, you are a cyber detective. Consider yourself as a cyber detective. What will be your first thought when you see something like this?
Sir, it depends upon like if the cyber analyst is expert, so he or she will definitely uh, tell what is going on. But if it will a junior or something fresher, then he will or she will analyze the whole data, and he will see the root cause what is going on, and then he can conclude that yeah, it is a technical problem or it is going to be a big problem.
Perfect. So, as an investigator, you should always have a hook in your mind, right? And your thought process should be, I have to dig deeper. I have to dig deeper. Understand the difference. The security analysts will do the due diligence only. Understand? He will just say, okay, TK, I have just gone through the logs. Somebody has done something. That's it. He will just do the first level analysis. What we do. Whenever you do some case, you go to the police station, they will, I don't know, they will just write a case, not FIR first, but they will just take an your case, your whatever you call it as, and from there onwards they can file. But as an investigator, your first thought will be, okay, you have to deep digger. What you have to do for dipping digger, First thing is collecting the evidence, analyzing the data, and piecing together what happened. It's like connecting the dots. That's what should be your thought process. Yes, Supendra, you are correct. So, having said that, this is how you have to think as an investigator in a very initial phase. So, what is our story today? You know, let me tell you one thing very upfront. People say digital crime, people take it very lightly. But trust me, you guys have never seen, but I am a person who has seen a lot of attacks that happen in my organization, and I have seen a lot of attacks, cyber attacks that has happened, in my client's landscape also. Uh, so you have to understand this is not very easy stuff. It's a very time consuming, health wise, mind wise, once you get involved in this type of situation. uh, so keep one thing in mind that you know typically what you see in the movies don't it's not similar to that because you have seen the matrix, the numbers and all those green color things will come up. No, it's not like that. It's a very tense situation because you have lost the data and somebody is asking for the money, so you can understand the situation. So whenever this type of attack happen, keep few things in mind. What are the hooks? So hook means what are the patterns? Why see, uh, you have a hook, right? Keep think from a layman perspective, and those people who stays near to the bank of the river. If you have a hook, what you will do? You will try to go for fishing, right? So these are the hooks. So always consider few things whenever you are an investigator, that this type of things, or as a cyber defense guy. You know, the ransomware, any attack will happen on the area which is very impactful for a human being, like no, a hospital, or something like pipelines, or something like airports. You can see Heathrow Airport every now and then it's get hacked. uh, but the reality is that it's not a movie scene. As I mentioned, it's a ransomware attack. You have to understand. Third thing is that when this type of attack happened, trust me, one thing you will find is that you know this thing get leaked very easy, just to create a pressure on you as an individual. I will tell you one thing. I can quote you the name of one of my client. We faced one cyber attack. It was not a very big attack. It happened in one of the country, because I work in a global organization, and our organization has a lot of offices across globe, and I have to travel to Germany for that reason. And what happened? My Germany office got hacked due to some insider issue, because somebody clicked on the phishing mail. And what we realized, we tried our level best that news shouldn't go out, but news went out. you know and I will tell you one thing: this news will be triggered by the person who has attacked you, just to create a pressure on you. Because understand, if your client knows that you have been hacked, right, how much tension they will have, and they start putting pressure on you. I want my data as soon as possible, right? So these are the ways that you have to think from. And lastly, we have to understand from a what you say, from a security engineer or investigative perspective, is that we have to contain the spread. This is again a very technical stuff. I will just give 1 minute on that. If I say contained, most of the organization, they have network compartmentalizations. So let's assume one of the system is down. We'll make sure that we'll containerize it. We will isolate that particular system, but rest of the system will be working fine, just so that those it shouldn't impact the other machines which are there. So that is the thing that we have to do. So as an investigator or as a security analyst, these are the few points that you have to keep in mind whenever any attack happen. And please keep this in mind: when we move forward, right? Because as I say, we will go as a case study, we'll take your inputs. Now, what is our story today? And it's not a story, but it's a reality. But for us, it's a story because this is our case study. So, as I mentioned, we embark on a high-stake detective story, tracing the path of cyber incident to a criminal indictment. Case study is Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack that happened on 7th May 2021. It happened 4 years back. Uh, so what we'll do, we'll just go through what, as I have given you a few steps, we'll just go through what all steps needs to be done. And I have also given you the advantages of digital forensic, basis which you can answer what are the steps that needs to be followed when any of the attack happen. And you know that if any attack happen, there will be a demand for some amount, and that will go to certain level of judiciary impact will be there. Now, my first question to everyone, and please, I want response for everyone. I've already told you that one fine morning, this thing has happened, attack has happened. Let me give you the overall scenario, what has happened. If you can go to the slide number 3, uh, Adishri. Adishri, that's the correct name if I'm not. Yeah, perfect. So this is the overall, steps that has happened. And I will just spend 10-15 minutes on this particular slide only because this is the main skeleton of the overall session that we have. So the case study is that, we have a ransomware attack happened on a Colonial pipeline. It's the largest fuel pipeline in United States. Impact, operation shutdown, and if it's a pipeline and it's a us is totally dependent on crude oil, right? The economy is totally dependent on crude oil, and it's one of the major pipeline crude oil distributor for us, so you can understand the impact. So the impact is very visible over here. There's a fuel shortage across southeastern us, and initial response as usual, we're being a human being, shut down systems to prevent the spread. Okay, because it's quite critical because the crude oil supply shortage has happened, and the team, the attacker, that is the dark side, they have demanded 75 bitcoin, which is equivalent to 4.4 million dollars, right? So this is the overall very high level case study for you guys. I have given you very brief what needs to be done, what will be a thought process. So just let me know what are the steps that you guys will take once you have to go for, since the ransomware has already been paid, the amount has already been paid. Now it will go for case and all those stuff. So you as a digital forensic detective, and you have to support attorney in US court to provide the evidence and everything. So what all steps that you will do? So it's 7:30. You guys have another 10 minutes, and from 10 minutes will be fine. And please put your answers on the chat fast. So your time starts now. Another 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Give your best.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, can you please repeat the question once again?
So my question is, this is a case study for you guys. I have already explained what all steps needs to be done. You are a digital forensic expert. You have been asked by an attorney of US court to provide the evidences what happened. Okay, so that they can put it in the court of justice. with all the evidences and everything. So what all steps that you will do? See, I have already given you the attack vector flow also over here. If you see the first at the right side top quadrant, right? So that will give you a better idea. This is mostly from a technical standpoint so that you guys have understanding, but from a legal standpoint, what all steps you guys will take. And keep one thing in mind. I have given you one example of I think you guys told me the name of the case, that is Arushi Talwar. I don't know exact name, but it was Talwar. I know that Talwar was there, but I don't know whether it is Arushi or Ayushi, whatever it is. But keep that in mind. Keep that, whatever the blockers were there, keep that in mind. Yes, Neha, you mentioned something.
Sir, we have to tell on chat only, or we can tell here also.
You have 10 minutes time, 5 minutes time. If you guys are ready, you can put it on chat. If you want, come on camera and speak. Because I want you guys to be confident. Come on camera and speak. At the end of the day, you're the future lawyers, digital forensic experts. That you have to be confident. So whatever best you think. Fine, Prapti, it's Prapti, right? First, we'll analyze what all data has been leaked. Okay, this is from a technical standpoint, but as a digital forensic investigator and as a lawyer, because you have to support a attorney, so you have to talk in their language, right? Because trust me, no offense to any lawyers, but it's quite difficult for them to make them understand the technical nitty gritty, right? Because I face on a daily basis. At least in my office also, and I don't say it's my good luck or bad luck. My spouse is also a lawyer, so 24/7 I have to go and work with the lawyers. So I can tell you it's quite difficult for them to understand the technical nitty gritty. So you have to go in that way. Ajit, yeah, I have already shared this file with the Y Crime team. You can reach out to them. If they are fine to share, they can share with you. Yeah. Fine, fine. So Mahima, you mentioned first check if it is a technical issue, but before that I will check if any changes are being made in the location. Okay, this is for the first question. Online decide what's happening. Okay, creating forensic images. Bhumika. Okay, yeah, perfect. This is correct.
Sir, as a forensic expert, we will firstly reconstruct the crime scene, what all happened, and then I can say that.
Hold on, Jay, this is not a murder mystery that is going on, right? So you can't recreate the अब आप किसी ransomware या किसी के पास see ransomware is like that, they just put some code, we don't know what that code is, so you can't recreate it. अगर हम मुझे पता होता ना कि वो code क्या है तो वो ransomware फिर तो हम तुरंत we should have taken that into consideration. So trust me, you can't recreate the crime scene, but yeah, you can recreate the impact, at least in digital stat. Yeah, Priya, you had some questions. Please go ahead.
Sir, as a forensic expert, I will connect the system with the right blocker to collect all the evidences, and then for bit-to-bit copy, I will use FTK software or any other software like Adobe or other software to get the evidences, and that's
Perfect.
it.
Perfect. You're almost
Sir,
near to my expectation. Yeah.
Sir, we will give the crypto ID where the transaction had been happened to the code.
Okay.
This, so it can be like पता लग सकता है कि क्या हुआ, मैं किसको ट्रांजेक्शन किया गया, क्रिप्टो अकाउंट अगर आईडी पता दे दिया जाए तो अगर ट्रांजेक्शन हुआ है तो क्रिप्टो आईडी होगा, तो हम दे सकते हैं एज अ फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट टू द कोर्ट.
Yeah, agreed. See, but in the code we have to prove now कि something has happened. Then why? That's why they have asked for the crypto, right? तो वो तो आपको दिखाना होगा ना. You have to showcase. Okay, what happened? What was the impact? See, no offense to judiciary system or legal system, but they want evidences. पूरी दुनिया में न्यूज में रहेगा कि रैंसमवेयर अटैक हुआ है राहुल आनंद के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे, बट आई until unless I don't show the evidences, the court will not agree to it. Am I right? Right? So for that I need, your point is very valid. Definitely that will be my last approach, but prior to that, as I mentioned, we have to work with the attorneys, make them understand so that they can provide those case, they can represent the case and in the court. But yeah, your point is perfect. Yeah, Ajit, you wanted to say something? It says Ajit, you are on mute.
नो सर, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है सर अभी.
Okay. Anyone else? See, you're just left with another 3 minutes, and then we can take it from there onwards.
सर वो तो मैं क्या है वो.
Sorry, Ajit, you were saying something. I missed it.
ना सर, वो तो मैं अपने वो एविडेंस कलेक्शन वाले फोटोज कट कर रहा था बस, इसीलिए तो फिर ये वाले.
Good. मतलब ये मर्डर मिस्ट्री थी या
यस सर.
किडनैपिंग था, कौन सा था?
वो मेरा वाला.
हाँ, जो आप अभी एविडेंस कलेक्ट कर रहे हो.
और क्राइम सीन वाले सब.
अच्छा, okay, good. Yeah, Tanishka Mehta, if you don't mind, can you just come on camera and just speak? Yeah, go ahead.
So first I will isolate the affected system to prevent further damage or tampering, and then I will preserve and collect all the possible evidences like memories, storage, network data by creating a forensic image. And after ensuring through the hash values, I will analyze the possible collected data to identify whether it is like a technical glitch, human error, or some activities. And based upon the findings, then I will document everything and take appropriate corrective and appropriate corrective and preventive action.
Awesome. But hope you haven't used ChatGPT or Gemini or anything like that. Sure. Okay, I was just joking. But this was you can be a digital forensic guy. But yeah, you are on target. Anyone else? I just need 1 minute time. Just need to take a biological break and I will come back. So you guys have still 1 minute time. If you have any other questions or anything, please put it on the chat. Upendra, first will identify which source it has been hacked and from where. Okay, this is fine. Check the. Okay, Sarah Bhardwaj, you're going as a technical expert, you are correct, but not going as per the case study that I have shared. Okay, just give me a moment, please. Perfect. So let's go step by step process what needs to be done whenever this type of cyber incident happened, and we are moving towards the legal side. So first thing first, Adishri, can you just move to the next slide? So first thing first that we have to keep in mind was it's mentioned in the deck that whenever any incident strikes, the immediate aftermath is known as the golden hour. So whenever let's assume any ransomware attack happened, it's a blue screen. The first 90 minutes is very critical. Understand that. And you can correlate with the case that we discussed. That's a murder mystery, but again, I'm just correlating anything, any crime. First, you guys know because you are from the forensic background. First 90 minutes are very critical. This is a critical period where swift and precise action can make or break the investigation. You can correlate with ROC's case. What happened? The first 2 hours, everybody was roaming here and there in the crime scene, and people lost. The forensic were never able to find it. So why this golden hour matter? We have to understand that. What people do first thing first, I'm not sure you guys have worked in any of the corporate, but whenever you have any system glitch, and you go to your IT team and they will say, "एक बार आप reboot कर लो." That's a common stuff, right? You know that. And once the system is rebooted, the memory of the system haven't captured anything, right? It can destroy the evidences, and that prosecution will be very impossible. You have to understand. So proper evidence handling is ensure that cyber criminals can be brought to justice and help the organization to recover fast as soon as possible. So remember, in digital forensic, the race for justice starts the moment an incident is detected. Please keep in mind, I'm again reiterating, in digital forensic, the race for justice starts the moment an incident is detected. The golden hour is your chance to preserve the truth and make sure cyber criminals don't get away. So first 90 minutes is very critical. In that 90 minutes, you have to be mindful of each and every steps that you do. So as from a practical standpoint, we as a cybersecurity specialist or digital forensic specialist, whenever any incident happens, first thing first, we containerize it. We isolate the system. Once we isolate the system, we make sure that, once we isolate the system, next thing is we preserve the volatile data. You can see that these are the steps that needs to be done, preferably within the 90 minutes when the incident happened. Then start creating the forensic image. If you talk about the forensic images, you have to make bit for bit copies of all affected storage devices to ensure that you have the integrity along the integrity for the evidences. Document the scene. If I say document the scene, what happened, what you are doing, what are the steps that has been taken. Document each and everything. In cybersecurity side, incident manager role is very critical because he's the person who runs the overall incident. Whenever any incident happened, he document everything. He knows what is happening and what will happen and why it happened. So those roles are very critical. And the last is chain of custody. Establish continuous record of who handled the evidence and for what purpose. Because this chain of custody is a very good, once we move down, once we talk about the chain of custody, I will present you another case study that happened. But I will give you the case study. I will not ask you to do anything on that in the interest of time. But these are the major factors that you have to work, because that's why we call it as the golden hour, first critical response. And you have to do first 5 parts. Isolate the system, preserve the volatile data, create forensic images, document the scene, chain of custody. That is very critical. Now, these are the steps that needs to be done. And I don't want, but we have seen, and it's through the common experience. First 90 minutes, at least in India, it mess up everything. Trust me, it mess up everything. I have worked in one of the biggest IT firm, and I have seen, it is known as one of the biggest IT firm, but one of the engineers messed up one of the cyber attack that happened in the firm. What he did, out of panic, he simply rebooted the system. He didn't isolated the system, uh, and out of panic he was not able to document anything, what happened, why it happened, and that really created a lot of issue in chain of custody for us, and we lost that case. It's a well-known case. It's an Indian firm. You can research it out. Unfortunately, I can't tell the name of the firm, but it's a start with C. That's what I can say as of now. So you can go ahead and let that give you a very good case study for you. That first 90 minutes are very critical because that particular firm was not able to manage that first 90 minutes, and it messed up everything. Ajit, I'm not sure this thing I can't help you out because I'm not a subject matter expert from a university background. But yeah, digital. I'm not sure what your background is. Now moving to the next slide. Digital forensic, these are the different tools that are leveraged whenever you are doing any sort of digital forensic part, just to collect we have disk imaging tool that help us to create bit for bit copies. It can be industry standard FTK imager. Then we have network analysis, traffic analysis. That this network traffic analysis really help you to understand the flow of the network from where all this thing has come. So that can help like Wireshark and Jig. Then we have memory analysis tool where you can work just extract the volatile data from the RAM before it disappears. And log correlation. Log is very critical from a cyber forensic standpoint. So these are the tools that you guys can leverage if you have interest in learning more from a technical standpoint. But I can assure you one thing: if you are a lawyer, right, these are the things that you should be aware of it because if you are working in a space where your client is from a technology like we call it as TMT. It's called as TMT in the legal side. That is telecom, media, and I forgot another T. So if you are aware of all this stuff, you will be it will be very easy for you as a lawyer to work on collecting the evidences for your respective clients. That's what I can say, but I can't tell you about the semester and all those stuff. Now, since we were talking about the chain of custody, if you can move to the next slide. Yeah, chain of custody, I'm pretty sure you guys know what is chain of custody is. It's a documented process that tracks the handling of each and every evidences of possession of or handling of the evidences from the moment it is collected till the time it is presented in the court, right? So that is very critical, and I will tell you one story around it. As I said, case study. It happened between a Russian hacker. His name is Vasily Gorskov, and he was charged with multiple hacking and wire fraud for a U.S. company, and he used to steal data, and sometimes he used to extort money from the organization. So FBI came to know about this, whatever this Khrushchev was doing. So what they did, the FBI started posing as a potential employer to him, and asked to Khrushchev to come to Seattle for an interview where agents, so that once he's in US, Khrushchev is in US, they have all the facility to, arrest him, seize his laptop, and later use his credential to remotely access his computer system, which is residing in in Russia. So when he was detained in US and he was presented in the court, Gorshov defense argued that FBI violated international law and compromised the chain of custody, claiming the digital evidence could have been tampered with and was therefore inadmissible. You can understand, it's very, very valid point. International law. Somebody is sitting in India, getting his credentials, logging in through VPN. So definitely, it's not inadmissible. However, the court ruled against him, concluding that FBI has followed the sound forensic procedures, creating mirror images, maintaining forensic logs, using hash verification to ensure the integrity and authenticity of the data. The decision established an important precedent for the admissibility of the cross-border digital evidence. And I think that you can showcase this log analysis, whatever so I will tell you one thing, whatever you do in your system, everything is recorded, mind you. So I can tell you one thing about being a CISO of an organization. I can tell you one thing very upfront, that I know what my employers are doing, every second detail that I have. But yeah, I have to spend some time on the logs, which I don't have. So point is, log analysis very critical, and that always help you in the chain of custody. So this is one of the perfect example. What I can do, I can just post you this, since you guys are lawyer, go through this particular case study. I just pasted you United States versus Goskov 2002. It will give you better understanding what this chain of custody was and how it impacted over there. So few things that you have to keep in mind in chain of custody is proper document handling with a timestamp, right? Note purpose of each and every transfer. Well, transfer means changing the hands or changing the network from a digital standpoint. And finally, there should not be a disconnection in the proper transfer of the documentation or evidence that we are saying, putting on. So let's assume there are four people who are working on the evidences, and you reach that evidence reach to the third person, but there's a gap between third person and fourth person, then it will be inadmissible in the case of cyber fraud. Let's be very clear on that. So chain of custody and the 90 minutes is the first 90 minutes, the golden rule. These are the two critical aspects from an evidence standpoint. Yeah. So moving to the next slide, you know, how you will connect the dots, how you will identify. Now this is getting a little bit technical, but yeah, how let's go back to the case study that we talked about, how Colonial Pipeline, how they collected evidences. First was through with the help of the IP addresses, because each machine has whenever it works, if it is assigned with the internet, there will be an IP address. So this is one of the way where you can find it out. But people have come up with a VPN technique and all those stuff. But IP address is one of the best thing. Second is malware code. These are the things that you have to work on. This is another investigation, technical investigation, that you have to look into what sort of code was there, because that code, yeah. Abhi, you were saying something. Okay. So malware codes that you have to work on. Then you look into the online personas. So online personas is like dark web. Whenever this type of ransomware attack happened, I'm not sure whether you guys have gone through that, but I have been into dark web a lot. That is my official credential, not my personal credential. So I'm into dark web, but yes, as a legitimate user, just for the sake of defense of my organization. So definitely your online personas also teach you, like, dark web, social media, a lot of things that comes into consideration when we start connecting the dots to identify the what you call the culprit. And lastly, someone has talked about crypto wallet. I remember, we can trace that transaction, right? So
I,
as I
I,
mentioned,
I have talked about that.
so if you see that, if you go, this is called reverse engineering, right? You just go back, understand. So that really helped FBI in this case. So that I will tell you. So what happened? These are the ways where you can find out how this thing has happened, who is the main perpetrator, who has done this type of attack and everything. So when we talk about this particular colonial pipeline attributions, we had a malware variant through which we came to know that this is coming from Abhi. If you want to say something, that would be good. Otherwise, better to mute it. Then the ransomware node also tell us a lot. I will tell you how. Uh, like, for example, there was I think I have mentioned about that, the attack that happened in the Bank of Ukraine, right? And so the Russian that Ukraine people speak, and the Russian which the exact Russian people speak. You can see there's a difference in slangs, right? For example, I can tell you my Hindi, it's a mix of Bihar and Delhi, right? But a person who is based out of Delhi, his Hindi will be different because there are slangs, a lot of local dialects, and all those things will come. So these are the factors that will definitely help you to understand, okay, from where this attack has been originated, or who's the attacker, what is his origin by birth, or where he's staying. Third thing is, like, we did there is analysis. Definitely, as I said, we containerized it. A lot of analysis happened. That is technical, which I don't want to get into. And lastly, cryptocurrency tracking. So ideally, this colonial pipeline stuff, people came to know through this crypto tracing only, right? Crypto tracing was the first thing that helped us to understand it was a dark side group that has attacked colonial. And from there we started working on other aspects like infrastructure analysis and all those stuff. If I say infrastructure, that is mostly related not to cement and all those stuff. Infra means IT infra related stuff. So this is how we, the investigator, came to know that this is dark side, and these are the evidences that they have collected, and they presented it to the what you call to the court. So so this is how the overall journey goes. If we talk about from incident to indictment. So keeping in mind the timeline that we have, since we are already 1 minute left, I'll just try to speed up my overall stuff. So coming to the slide number 9, if you can come to slide number 9, this is very critical for you guys. So from evidence to indictment, building a legal case, because that's the end result. Because what we need is to make sure that the culprit should be punished, right? So as I mentioned, the translation is very critical. Translation from technical to legal aspect, right? That is very critical, and that's where you guys are the right person, right? So digital forensic expert must transform technical findings into legal documentation that establish the probable cause, demonstrate all the evidences, intent, and everything. So here you have to maneuver all your technical findings into legal bindings, and that's where you have to work with the legal friends, attorneys, and where. So as a digital forensic expert, you should also have a good sound understanding on the legal side. This is very critical. Uh, what are the challenges when we go with from a cybercrime prosecution? I think first thing is jurisdiction. I have already shared one case study that is that United States and ghost shop. Jurisdiction is very critical because that create a lot of problem. हमारा वो एक अभी if you remember that Mehul Choksi case is going on, right? Where he's in Belgium, and Belgium court has asked, to provide pictures of the comfort that Indian jail can provide. I think someone from Y Crime only has posted somewhere in LinkedIn, if I'm not wrong. So you can understand, jurisdiction issues are there. Then evidence admissibility, uh, you know, uh, from a technical standpoint, what we have observed that see, I'm a technical guy. I'm a very hardcore technical guy with very little knowledge about legal aspect, how to present the evidences in the court. That's where what we always face is that my understanding is very much technical, right? So हम क्या करेंगे, एक RAM उठा करके दे देंगे, right? But for that RAM, you guys, the lawyer know, for that RAM, you have to create all the paperwork should be done and all the stuff. So, you have to follow the legal standard that is very critical, and that we always face as a digital forensic guys. And that's where we take a help from the legal expert. And people say that there's a standard called Daubert standard. Whenever you guys get a time, please go through that. That's very critical if you want to make your journey in cyber forensic side. Daubert, standards are very critical from a digital forensic standpoint. So please refer that. That will help you guys to understand how to prepare the legal case and evidence.
Is it Daubert and Frye standard?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Target. Then definitely, as I mentioned, technical communication, because as I mentioned in the beginning itself, it's quite difficult for me to explain my stakeholders because they are lawyers. For me, I'm a technical guy. So I will give you a perfect example. Like, if I have to implement ISO 27001, right? I went to my stakeholder and I said that it's quite critical from you have to implement ISO 27001. हमें backup चाहिए, कल data खराब हो गया तो my stakeholder was very simple. Boss, at the end of the day, what will be the impact? कितना पैसा जाएगा और कितना डेटा हमारा जाएगा जो क्लाइंट हमारी मतलब he will take us for a ride. So you have to be very clear in your approach in terms of making people understand in a very legal standpoint. And definitely, chain of custody is very critical. Maintaining the evidence integrity from collection to the presentation of the court. So these are the 4 challenges that we face, but yeah, these are very normal. You as an expert can manage this type of challenges. Now coming to the I will not go to the case outcome because my plan was to go as a case study, but since we have already shared the deck, you guys can go through that. So let me come to the last part from a key takeaways. Digital forensic is a bridge. Is a bridge between legal side and the technical side. So keep that in mind that if you want to be an expert in digital forensic side, you should have sound knowledge of technology and good knowledge of law, right? Second thing, you should know the concept of chain of custody. You should be very precise in terms of collecting the evidence because that is very crucial in terms of admissibility in the court. Third thing is storytelling. That is very critical. Please keep in mind, I know most of you are lawyers, that is your bread and butter, but as a digital forensic guys also, storytelling is very critical. And your role as a digital forensic professional is very vital in the coming days because as I mentioned, now the war will not be fought with bombs and missiles. Now the war will be fought with cyber crimes, the attack. So you are very critical on that, right? So keep that in mind. These are the things that you have to keep in mind. But as a data forensic expert, few things that should be inculcated in your thought process. First thing first, develop a security first mindset because as we always say that precaution is better than prevention, right? You should be aware about the concept of incident management, You know, in the incident management, what you have to do, you know, as we are saying, isolate the data, isolate the affected area. The first 90 minutes comes into consideration. You should have a sound knowledge of all the tools and techniques. I think I've already given you a fair enough idea, like network monitoring, Wireshark, and all those stuff needs to be taken care of. And lastly, and that is very critical, again, I'm reiterating, chain of custody is very critical, and proper and documentation should be proper and in a very prioritized manner. Communicate your finding clearly with the technical guy as well as with your legal guy, so that you know there shouldn't be anything left. All of them can work together to come up with a case where things can be presented to the court in a very legal specific terms. uh, Lastly, I don't say lastly, but yeah, one thing I can tell you is that uh, is you know you have to stay current with the regulations and law as well as the technology, because uh, the way the inventions are happening, the way things are happening every day, you will find new things. So you have to be very much clear about what are the new things are coming in your legal space as well as in a technology space, because every day you will find new challenge. Lastly, but not least, I would say, uh, in this particular area, you have to be a person who should be, sharing the knowledge and collaborate with each other. Because what I learned today, I can assure you that not everyone will have that idea, because I'm going through a real time scenario. As I mentioned, the attack surface is changing, the way of attack, the cyber attack is changing. So I know one way of attack and I have faced it. You never know, you know, Jai will not be able, Jai will have different way of managing the attack. So it's always good to share your knowledge and collaborate with each other. So that's all from my end. I know I have already spill over by another 8 minutes, but if you have any questions, please let me know.
Sir, I have a couple of questions.
Please go ahead.
Sir, first question is why the 2FA authentication is like very hard to decode?
Okay, you're talking about multi-factor authentication, right?
Yes, sir. The 2FA authentication, why it is very hard to decode? Like if you have to find the who is the person behind that social media account, and we have to like if we have to find out who is the person using that account or something, and he or she have 2FA authentication on, so how it will decode that who is the person behind that?
No, we can see. Okay, you are mixing two questions together. I think multi-factor authentication is a way of it's a cyber defense mechanism, right? Where you have to go with two process of authentication. Like perfect example is Google, right? Whenever you log in from different device, first they will ask you the password, then they will say, okay, there are three numbers, go and in another device. So this is one way of securing yourself. So it's quite difficult to hack it. That's what is your question. The reason you can understand, you are sitting here, right? Uh, you just clicked on the Google Mail, but the another way of signing is in the different mobile, right? For example, and that is with the end user, right? End user means the person who has that whose account it is. So it's quite difficult. That's the reason it's quite difficult. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of from a technical standpoint, but you can understand there are two ways of getting into the one system, right? आपके पास एक घर है, ठीक है? For example, आपको दो रास्ते मिल रहा है, तो आप किसी एक से ही घुसोगे ना, right? दोनों से तो आप एक घुस नहीं सकते हो. It's a common stuff. So that's why multi-factor authentication is difficult. Now coming to your Facebook, now the second question, what I understood, correct me if I'm wrong, is that whenever any social media thing happened, why it's quite difficult to find out who has entered in your system. That's what is your question. See, it's not difficult, trust me. It's not at all difficult. I can tell you, you give me, I can tomorrow, within 10 minutes, I can tell you, okay. But for that, you have to be, you should have that skill set. First thing first. Secondly, you should have all those technology enabled with you, right? So अब मैंने आपको क्या बोला कि as I mentioned, somebody entered your Facebook account. What is the best way? IP address निकाल लो. अगर आपका IP address निकल गया, you can know from where this has happened, which location, which area.
Sir, because it means a couple of months ago, one of my account was hacked, and I told my cybersecurity analyst, he's my one of a friend who is doing cybersecurity. So I told him to analyze who is behind this social media account, who have hacked my ID. So he told that the 2FA authentication is on, and it is like very hard and very difficult to find who is behind that, and
No.
like he gave up that time.
He might be very in the initial where path of his career in cybersecurity. That might be the reason. But getting into he said very correctly. But I think there are two things that you are correlating. First thing, getting into multi-factor authentication is very tough, right? And getting, if somebody has get into the system, yeah, we can find it. Best way is IP address, but you should have Wireshark enabled in your system, right? You need that tool to find out who has done that. So that might be the reason he might have given you this answer. But I don't know the exact background, what happened and everything. Yeah.
सर मेरे को एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है, जैसे ना मेरे अकाउंट जो है फेसबुक अकाउंट, उसको किसी ने हैक करने की कोशिश की, अभी कल भी किया, परसों भी किया, तो एक दिन तो वो उसने नेम चेंज कर दिया, तो मैंने नेम चेंज किया, मतलब वापस से मैंने फेसबुक से बात करके पासवर्ड चेंज किया, सारे चीज़ें मल्टीपल फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन ऑन किया, बट स्टिल जो है ना, समवन इज ट्राइंग टू लॉग इन अगेन एंड दे आर एक्सेसिंग, बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू डू इट, but still I'm getting messages that someone is trying to have the access of my account. How it is possible?
It's very easy. Trust me. If I'm sitting, I like to do that every now and then with anyone. It's very easy. But yeah, of course. The point is over here is that if it is happening every now and then it's better to report it to Facebook, because that's how it should be. That's what I can say for the end user right now, because this is something very specific to Meta, and I don't want to comment on that. But yeah, it is feasible. I think Ajit and Parul. First, Priya has raised her hand. Priya, and then after that, Ajit can.
Sir, as a forensic student, I want to ask about getting job in this field. So, do I have to learn languages Python or Java for digital forensic? Sir, because I have done my bachelor's in forensic only, so I don't have knowledge about Java, Python, and I have to compete with BTech batch also, BTech students also in this field.
See, again, the beauty of cybersecurity is like this. Anyone can do that. First thing first, right? Because there are different aspects into cybersecurity. First is called as GRC, that is governance, risk, and compliance, right? That is very much policy framework. By the name you can say. So we don't need any technical expert over there. We don't need any developer, right? So that is one area that you can try for. Then digital forensic, definitely. If you want to go ahead in that area, there are different aspects into digital forensic, but it's not mandatory for you to learn Python or Java, but it's good to have. If you want to have a very robust knowledge or exposure towards the forensic, but it's not mandatory. And you can still survive with the limited knowledge you have in the forensic area. I have one team member. She has done her forensic BSc in forensic from Jain University in Bangalore, and I think she's surviving and she's thriving. And she's not a coder, but yes, she's very good. See, you have to understand what all jobs are done in digital forensic, right? If you see, I have talked about maneuvering your technical knowledge into legal case. This is one area you can work on. Then evidences, collection of evidences, documentation, all those aspects. So it's not mandatory, but it's good to have.
Okay, sir.
And I can suggest you don't go for Java. It's not required. If you are very much, if you have bandwidth, time, and you are really eager to get very much into forensic side, then I think what do you call Python is fine. And Python is a simple English language, nothing more than that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. I hope I answered your question, Priya.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, Ajit. You're on mute. I think you can use your glue letter first. Unmute yourself.
जी सर, मैं पूछ रहा था कि अगर सेशन आईडी है तो वो क्या होती है और उससे क्या क्या खतरा हो सकता है अगर किसी को वैसे ही नॉर्मल है तो इंसान जो
Sorry, I couldn't get you. फिर से बोलना.
सेशन आईडी क्या होती है और उससे क्या क्या खतरा हो सकता है?
सेशन आईडी.
हाँ जी सर, जैसा कि मैंने सुना है कि उसके हिसाब से अगर सेशन आईडी मिलती है ना,
किसके
तो आपको
हिसाब से?
तो यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड वगैरह कुछ नहीं दिया, जैसे कि ऐसे ही सब हो जाता है लॉगिन वगैरह, तो वहीं पे मैंने सुना है सर.
मुझे आपकी अभी भी आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, बट यू आर टॉकिंग इन व्हाट रेस्पेक्ट? अगर आप मुझे वो भी बता दोगे मैं समझ जाऊंगा.
अगर कोई वेबसाइट पे विजिट करते हैं हम लोग तो उसके लॉगिन
सेशन आईडी. अरे okay. Okay, so this is a unique identifier, right? This is a unique identifier given to each user or user or a device for any of the active session that happens on internet. So ये ना आपके this session ID will always, it's very critical, like as I mentioned IP address, in the same way session ID is very critical in terms of identifying the user activity, and this really help you to understand the user activity. However, there's a caveat over here. You have to be dependent on your service provider to get this session. Okay. I think there was one more hand I have seen. Yeah, Viraj Mahida.
Yeah, hi sir, good evening. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question. I wanted to know your POV. Like in past, we've known that we've seen various cases regarding digital forensics or digital cyber fraud as phishing or spam messages and everything. And now we're witnessing something like digital arrest, which is new, right? Now, according to you, how do you see the future? Because as we know that digitalization is gonna increase day by day, right? So what kind of vulnerabilities you think that a citizen like us gonna face in future?
So as I mentioned, I think I have made it very clear this thing. Now the war will happen without bomb and missiles. It will be totally cyber, right? So just in continuation of that, if we talk about vulnerabilities, first thing first, India is a young, dynamic country, right? If you talk about the population and everything, so India we are very young age compared to other countries like Japan and all those stuff. And secondly, we have a lot of unemployment also coming in coming days. So this is one of the area where people will shift towards to extort money, right? The future is very bad, at least from a cyber standpoint. I can give you an example. In Netflix, there is a series called Jamtara. You guys have seen that. How it is coming? It's a pure. We call it as missing through SMS and all those stuff. They are coming, and trust me, the threat vector will increase day by day. This is digital concept is digital arrest is a new concept. We are seeing new concept, where they are just calling a customer care and say that I'm calling a customer care and asking for the credentials, and people are giving because our Aadhaar and all those are very common. आप कहीं पे भी आप प्रीपेड नंबर लेने जाते थे पहले, इफ यू रिमेंबर, दे जस्ट आस्क यू द आधार एंड पैन कार्ड, आप सिर्फ दे देते थे. आफ्टर दैट nobody bothers what happened, but that created a lot of mess, and that was the reason now we are going with the biometric. Agar aap geo and all those stuff things are coming, so definitely the threat vector will increase, and it will increase day by day. But as a civilized citizen and as a intellect, the only thing that we can think about is the pattern, right? Understand the pattern. That is very critical. This is another good topic that we can go, but yeah, आपको ना pattern समझना है. Anything, any cyber attack will have a pattern. And once you recognize that pattern, you will understand that how things are there. I will give a very perfect example. Digital arrest. उसकी जितनी भी कॉल आती होगी ना, अगर आप देखोगे आपकी पूरी प्रोफाइलिंग होती है उस बंदे के पास. अगर मेरे पास कॉल आती है, what time the I get on an month में एक दो बार आ जाता है. What time I get that call? Something between 9:30 to 11:30, because that is my time where I'm very much busy with my work, like office, बच्चे, office जाना, driving and everything. So my mind is not stable. और इस टाइप के जो भी कॉल्स आएंगे ना, आपको उसी समय आएंगे जब your mind is not stable. So if you see, I get this call at this time. And second thing, another pattern that you will see, they will try to catch hold of people who are old age, women, not working women, mind you, household. These are the two major target for them. Working women को, if I say women, उनको पता है कितने बजे कॉल करते हैं? Early morning between 7 to 9, because उस समय they are most busy with their household chores. Yeah, to answer your questions, definitely yes. I don't want to scare you guys, but yeah, definitely yes. Future is little bit horrid, I would say, because people, the attack surface is increasing. Our dependency on technology is very much, so things will start happening. But yeah, as a intellect, you need to understand what are the patterns, and you have to be mindful of each and every statement a person is telling you. Always keep in mind that you have all the clue in any of the attack that is happened. अगर आप फिशिंग भी देखोगे, आई एम नॉट श्योर वेदर यू गाइस हैव सीन, अगर आपको फिशिंग मेल हो गया, अगर आप थोड़ा सा ध्यान दोगे, यू विल फाइंड आउट देयर आर सम इश्यूज लाइक लैंग्वेज, spelling mistake, grammar mistake. So you will find the clues over there. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much.
Diksha. No, sorry, Disha, my miss. Sorry, apologies.
So, good evening, sir. So as you mentioned in the last slide that the emerging challenges. So I want to ask, why are AI-powered attacks become such a challenge for our security teams nowadays?
AI, you mean to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
AI-powered attacks.
Okay, so there was an attack that happened 2 days back. And it was AI-powered attack. I will give you a perfect example. Have you got? Do you know this type of attack? What we call as DDoS attack?
No, sir, I haven't heard it.
So DDoS attack is like
Yes.
putting too much traffic on the network, right? तो एक बंदा क्या करेगा, एक स्क्रिप्ट लिखेगा, and he will just start congesting the traffic. A person has a particular limitation, right? What he will do, 1 or 2 minutes, he will be sitting for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 5 hours, not maximum than that. So at some point of time, that congestion will reduce, right? But if it is AI powered, right, वो आपको continuous डालता रहेगा, right? And at some point of time, if I am a human being, I am making sure that attack doesn't happen. My mind will choke out after 50 hours, for example, but AI will not. So this is one of the example that I can say. Now, there's another attack that is coming is like, LLM. Do you have understanding of LLM, large language models, through which this AI works? So what happens is that there's a program They feed trillions of data basis which they come up with a data module and they respond back. Like ChatGPT, आप उनसे क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, उनका जो पीछे ट्रिलियन डेटा है वो उसमें से सर्च करेगा which is the best and he will put it right. Now the attack, how the attack is coming. People are just pushing the data in the LLM, the wrong data. Right? So for example, you say आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा चैट जीपीटी से कि हाउ मेनी लेग्स अ काउ हैज, राइट? अब क्या हुआ, एआई एलएलएम में गया, वो लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल्स में गया, ही विल आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. अब क्या कि हमने उस डेटा को अगर इन्फिल्ट्रेट करके काउ की जगह डॉग लिख दिया, व्हाट विल हैपन? Oh sorry, cow has 4 legs. Sorry, if I say he has put some other animal which has 2 legs, or man, definitely the data you will get the wrong answer. So I'm not sure, but you guys might have seen there's a case that happened for with Deloitte in US where they have how to say it, they have done some consulting job for US government, and they leveraged the AI, and they didn't do the due diligence on that, and AI has given them the wrong data. So these are the attacks that is coming. So as somebody asked prior to you, how will be the attacks in the future? You can see now, earlier the attacks were the mastermind of human being. Now attacks will be mastermind of the machines, and we are facing it. And I on a daily basis, I can tell you, in my organization on a daily basis, I get almost 4,000 to 5,000 attacks on their credentials. And I know this 4,000 or 5,000 means my organization is not such big that a particular team, dedicated team sitting and doing this scripting. No, it is coming through AI, and we are ready for that, and we have to be ready for that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, I have one more question. Can you answer?
Hello, everyone. We truly appreciate your curiosity in learning this stuff. But as we are reaching the end of our scheduled time, we'll be concluding this session now.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Adisri, for your all support. Really, it was nice to have a session with all this curious mind. I can tell you one thing, that stay curious, remain curious, because in today's world, the only thing that can take you upward is the growth mindset. Keep learning and be curious. Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session with us. I'm sure all attendees today have gained great insights from your knowledge.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Sir, we are really grateful to have you on board for this session. Thank you so much from our side.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so